My dear friends, I am recording this video message to express my support for the women's boat to Gaza, which is expected to sail from Barcelona in Spain across the Mediterranean Sea to the beautiful shores of Gaza City this coming September. The mission of the Women Boat to Gaza is to challenge the inhumane blockade that Israel imposes on Gaza, and also to raise awareness on the impact of war and violence, siege and occupation on the civilian population in general, but more specifically also on the women in Gaza. This is an act of nonviolent resistance and solidarity that is beautifully grounded in the pursuit of justice, human rights, and peace that is done by women for women. Gaza has been under an Israeli siege since 2007, and the impact of the siege today has created a dire situation that requires people of conscience around the world to take brave, peaceful, and determined action. Israel has waged 3 wars on Gaza since 2008, but the last war in 2014 was its most brutal, leaving thousands of Palestinians, mostly civilians, dead or injured, and tens of thousands homeless until today. Can any of us forget the footage on the news of the deliberate dropping of bombs on people's homes and those sinister calls by the Israeli army to families to evacuate when no place was safe and when the siege and blockade meant that they had nowhere to run to? Israel's siege on Gaza not only means imprisoning an entire population and watching them run around in circles while the bombs rain from the sky. The siege is what remains when the bombs stop. It is what strangulates the Palestinians slowly and painfully, impacting every aspect of their lives: housing, employment, education, and health. The infrastructure that holds civil society together is at best weak because of this inhumane siege. And the reality is, while after Israel's assault on Gaza, some countries actually pledged money to go towards building and reconstruction, many of them have not come through on these promises. In part, some may be discouraged by the lack of political solution, which means that anything rebuilt can once again be destroyed by Israel. This, after all, has been a consistent pattern for decades. But there are other reasons why those pledges and donations have not come through, such as the disagreement over the mechanism of transferring the aid and the disunity within the Palestinian Authority and the Palestinian leadership. But here is where I must urge you, my friends, to please not hold the Palestinian civilians hostage to a failed political process that's primarily imposed on them and on their leadership as a direct result of Israel's policies of military occupation and control and interference. The reality is, Palestinian unity or democratic reforms cannot be achieved within the current structures that are carefully created and fostered by Israel to ensure division for a very long time. We need a paradigm shift, but we cannot wait for the right conditions politically in order to start saving lives. Addressing the humanitarian needs of those held under this inhumane siege needs to be a priority, and I believe it is a prerequisite to creating the right environment in which long-term political solutions can actually be found. It is for this reason that I support wholeheartedly the efforts of the Freedom Flotilla Coalition, and I salute the Women's Boat to Gaza for taking action to raise awareness about the ongoing struggle that all the people of Gaza and all of Palestine face, but especially the struggle that the women face in order to achieve justice and peace through nonviolent means. So please support this humanitarian effort and share information about the Women's Boat to Gaza with your family and your friends. And do check out their website at wbg.freedomflotilla.org.